friends, thanks for joining us again. And today I have my special guest, Aunt, on, and we are going to talk about whether or not couples should combine their finances. So the first thing we're going to talk about is reasons why couples don't combine their finances.
Number one is secret spending. One person, the one spouse, will go and spend money without the other spouse knowing, or go and buy on a spending spree. Just go buy a bunch of things, and that causes problems and the other one doesn't know that they're buying all these things.
Yeah, so they don't want to combine finances so that they can buy and spend without the other person knowing. The next reason would be freedom, and this is sort of tied to the first one, is so that they can have the freedom to do whatever they want to do with their finances without having the other person telling them what they can and cannot do. Next one would be fear. People don't want to combine their finances because they're afraid that the other person is going to do things like try to control them so that they can maybe they are making bad decisions.
And sometimes people are afraid that they'll acquire their partner's debt. For example, I know somebody at work who has a girlfriend and he doesn't want to get married solely because of the reason that she carries debt, and he doesn't want to carry that debt.
So what are the things that we can do to make sure that we don't end up with some of these problems or reasons why, we don't want to combine our finances? So honestly, I think the first one would be to just choose your partner wisely and make sure you talk it out. When you are dating someone or whatever, obviously you want to make sure you're talking to them a lot and making sure they're on the same page as you, or at least willing to listen to your ideas.
If not, it may be best to keep the finances separate.
That's true. But honestly, we believe that this can be difficult and complicated and may even cause more problems to arise. One of the things that people do when they're trying to keep their finances separate is to keep the problems from arising. But in the long run, it may cause more problems to arise. For instance, how do you split things, and how do you keep things 50-50 or perfectly even? Is that even possible?
What if people have uneven incomes? What if one person makes more than the other?
Or at different times things, flip-flop or change. Do you do the bills, exactly 50-50 no matter what the person's income is, or do you do it proportionate to each person's income? What is really fair in that instance?
Or utilities. If one person may pay the cable bill and the other person pays the water bill, well, what if those bills go up and change?
Yeah, what if one person showers every day and the other person showers every other day? Should the person who showers every day pay more of the water bill? Should he also pay more of the gas bill too, because you have to heat that water? It just can get really complicated, especially when you have a family. So when, the children come into play, now how do you split things, perfectly even? What if one person has to be on maternity leave? Should they just take a huge financial hit even though it's both of their children? It just doesn't make sense to try and keep everything perfectly 50-50, especially since in general it's hard to keep all of that stuff perfectly even anyway. What if one person does more chores? What if one person watches the kids more? Does that mean it's okay for the other person to go ahead and take care of things more financially? And we honestly believe that it is. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros of combining finances.
One of the pros of combining finances is that you can achieve more.
Yes.
Those financial goals you have, you can achieve them better if you have two people working together and both the finances going towards those goals.
I believe that when you have people combine finances, you can have more incentives. So like he was mentioning last night when we were talking about this, if there was a mortgage and you're supposed to only split it 50-50, well, what if you wanted to try to pay extra to kind of buy down your debt on that mortgage? Well, there may not be the same incentive. If one person can afford to pay extra but the other can't, then that person may not want to contribute the amount that they would normally, therefore kind of making the debt take longer to take care of. Whereas if it was all in one pot and that was extra, the two of them wouldn't have any problem throwing that extra toward it. So there's definitely more incentive to invest more, to pay down debt and that sort of thing. Just more incentives to do more with.
And there's also more transparency. There's not things that one person is going and having a spending spree and the other person's in the dark about it.
Yeah.
You know what each person is spending, and you are more open about telling each other what you buy and when you buy it, and that way you can both be happy about it.
Yeah, more honesty. It's a whole lot simpler. Like I was mentioning earlier, and trying to keep everything perfectly 50-50 and whatnot, which may be near impossible. It's definitely, in my opinion, and our opinion, I guess I would say, that it is definitely a whole lot more simple when it all just goes into one pot and then we both mutually decide where everything goes from there.
Combining finances can also mean a closer relationship. This can mean that you're getting in less fights about finances, that you can just feel more close knowing that you're on the same track with your goals and your finances.
Exactly. Your lives are more intertwined because you have this included in something that you guys share. And then the last one would be that there is someone to help you ride out life's ups and downs with. There are times when I have made more money and I was able to help him out to where his finances weren't so, tight. Or the other way around. If we were keeping things separate, we both would have had these wild swings of ups and downs, but because we're combining together, it kind of levels things out better. So that when there's more, we kind of do more with it. But when there's a down on one side, the other person can help out more. So I definitely think that having a partner who's helping you, to work, and you're helping them and whatnot, it just makes things run a whole lot more smooth. And I believe that that is the main reason why we definitely think that combining finances is normally the best choice when there's not anything crazy going on, when there's not someone who's very different on how they feel about, what they should do with the finances, or, totally different goals in mind or whatever, or gambling problems or whatever, just different, things like that, spending addictions, as long as there isn't anything major like that going on, it makes more sense, to go ahead and combine the finances and make things simpler and make things go further.
So what do you think? Let us know. Would you rather keep your finances separate, or would you rather combine them? And what do you do and why? And let us know in the comments.
Yeah, that was kind of cheesy. Okay. Right, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful to you. We'll see you next time. I'm Frugal Green Girl, and this is Frugal Green Guy.